All right, welcome classes. This video is going to be for plant propagation and permaculture and for plant ID. So we're going to do a trio. We're here at Victor Valley College. This building is our seed lab. So those of you at Fullerton, you're jealous because you don't have one of these. This is where we process our seeds, and we'll take you on a tour. And these fabulous people here are interns, and we talked about the BLM Seeds of Success project. These are the interns that work on that project. I have a veteran, a middle, and a newbie here, and we'll introduce them. We'll start with our veteran. And we'll get a little closer. There we go.
Hello, students. My name is Dakota Brooks. I am 4 years into this project, and I am currently a student at Cal Poly Pomona in their plant science program.
Hello, my name is Laura, and I am a student here and an intern. This is my first year with the BLM project, and I'm very happy to be part of it. I've learned so much, and my goal is to work in conservation restoration.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Melissa Atkins. I've been with the Ag department here for 2 years. I just got started on this project. I'm so excited, and I want to further my degree at Cal Poly for the BLM.
Awesome. And Melissa's in your class if you're in propagation, right? Yeah, probably she's in our class. So all these students were here, they've been here, and I have 2 going to Cal Poly, and I'm a Cal Poly graduate myself, so yay. We'll talk about that later. All right, so we're gonna show you the seeds and what we need to do to seeds. Each of these 3 students has a different plant, basically. And they're quite different plants, and they all kind of require a different way of cleaning and processing. So we're gonna show you that, show you some of the tools and things that we use. I guess I'll just start with taking you on a quick tour of this building so you guys can kind of relax for a little bit. So here's our walk-in refrigerator. So you can see all of our bag seeds with their names, right? Remember I told you about collection? And this is kept at about, I think, 35 degrees. Yeah, 35 degrees, and it's a walk-in refrigerator. Remember, it's not freezing. Cold stuff, we have a freezer actually. And that one's really cold. So that's our really cold freezer. And then we just have basic kind of, a sink and magnifying glasses. But let's talk about what we usually do when we first bring in seeds. So the first thing I'll show you before they talk are these dehumidifiers. So a lot of times when we get a seed, and inside that little envelope in there are some seeds. In this little glass jar, you put some, what is that called? I forget what it's called. Silica powder. Yeah, desiccant in the bottom, which looks like that. And then the seeds are on the top, and that dries them out and gets them ready. So that's one of our little tools that we use there. All right, and then the next we're gonna have our interns explain. So I'm actually gonna start off with Laura, because she has fresh plant material these guys just harvested these seeds, I think today, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So here's a big, look at all this. This looks like the lawn clippings, but these are all the flowers. So she has to get the seeds, which are these little, tiny little light things, out of all this material. And it needs to look like, look at that. It's like green. So see how small those seeds? It has to go from here to there. So she's going to show us how she does that. Real quick, I'll explain. This is a lot of these things don't have like appropriate names, but this is basically a duber or a seed separator. It's a fancy little, it's just got like rubberized. This is the same type of rubber you would use for stamps. And a good example is this one right here. This is what they actually call it. So if you guys wanted to buy something, this is used in masonry. This material is used in masonry. But it's really good for separating seeds because it's like rubber. And as she kind of does that, you'll see what happens.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put it in here, and then I'll start by just gently going back and forth, separating them gently so you don't break the seed coat. And then you'll see the seeds.
Very relaxing work.
So you'll see some of the seeds down in here. A lot of chaff still.
Okay, so you guys see the seeds there all in the bottom? So
And then from there, I'll put them in here.
And she's putting it in a sifter. These are standardized seeds. They're used in soil science and in seed processing, and they're also used in medicine. They're expensive little guys, but these are standardized seeds by size.
And then from here, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of gently rub it around and get any more seed that may still be on any of the chaff. And then pull this apart, and you'll see some seed down there.
Look at that. Almost final product. You can see some chaff is still kind of snuck in, but they will clean this at the seed bank using a lot more finer materials than we have. But that's pretty good. You can see she's got a whole bunch of seeds. Now imagine how many seeds are in there. And that whole bucket will be full, I imagine. So again, Laura, her plant was alkali sakatu.
The Spirabolus oroides.
Spirabolus oroides. So this is very indicative of what you would do with grass seed, grains. Alrighty, our next one, let's do Mr. here. He's got a totally different plant. This is a teeny tiny,
So this is a Camisa Boothia. It's an annual flowering desert plant. And it has these little, it looks like this takes a skeletal form after it's gone through its growth phase. Normally has these like really big, beautiful clusters of like tiny white flowers. So this is one of the spikes that shoot up. If you guys remember your flower morphology, this is the end result of spiking. And we use a very similar harvesting process to the areoides, or to the Spirabolus, but instead of it being rubber, because it has like a really thick woody material, we want to use like a hard metal scape on some wire mesh. But it's the same process.
Yes, there's wire here on this wood and wire there.
Yeah, but it's the same process. You want to take it, and since the seed is a little smaller, we can be a bit rougher with it. And you just want to take it, and you just want to smush it in. And now you can see all these have been broken up. They're all pulverized now. And underneath is, from this powder, this is mostly seed. You can tell just barely.
Look how fine that is.
Incredibly. Yeah, these are really, really small seed.
What I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, these are incredibly small seed. So much so that we need to be extra careful when we're processing them.
No seed.
So in order to do the seed separation, we use a blower. And for those of you who have an interest in doing this, the Rancho Santa Ana Botanical Garden has a really good plant guide for recommendations on like how to blow seeds out.
Let me give them a quick look of this whole
Please. Yeah.
device real quick before they see it in action.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
This is the little chamber.
So we put all the seed into this cup, and inside of here is gonna be a very an adjustable blower with a timer set onto it, which is what you saw on the dial earlier. And it's gonna blow all the seed up into this tube, and it's going to separate by gravity the seed that is unviable or the chaff that's a part of it. And it's gonna have these two things of separation. It's gonna blow up here, whoosh, and they're gonna get caught down at the bottom to where you get unviable seed and chaff at the bottom and at the top, and your usable seed at the bottom. This is where we adjust it. So you kind of move this little nozzle to let more or less air out, and that adjusts the pressure that comes out. And you do that by different seed. So if it's smaller, you want to use a lot less, otherwise you're blowing all your good seed out. If it's larger, you want to open it almost all the way so the full force of the blower can go through.
So you guys can see real quick here, if I move this, this can move around and it's letting the air out. So if you're wondering how it works now, the blower is just pushing the air out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a little timer doodle. And then in here is just a blower.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty simple machine. Okay, so it's gonna be a little noisy. He's gonna turn it on real quick so we can just watch them move around.
So you're gonna watch it right here.
Ooh.
It's gonna blow up. And anything that's not usable is gonna come out and get separated between these two parts. So you saw that fly out to the beginning. And if I turn it off, if you look right here, all the chaff that wasn't gonna be usable is just gonna plop right into here.
And that's the trash, guys. So
Yeah.
so he says chaff. It separates the trash from the goodies,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, exactly. So if